I could have the missing footage for the Zabruta film. It still wouldn't go viral. This will work. See if it pauses. All right, quick show here, 8:22 p.m. on Friday, April 10th, 2026. Melania Trump is in the news. I guess Steve Bannon, I don't know, threw a little bit of lighter fluid out there, and Melania Trump, First Lady, of the United States, did a little press conference, a little presser, released a statement. You know that I have very unpopular views regarding the entire Jeffrey Epstein situation, but what I have evidence for and what I don't have evidence for, and most of the views that I have that people really, really don't like regarding Jeffrey Epstein, is based upon using the old noggin and highlighting that people don't have evidence of many of the claims that people think exists, and by showing that there are actually massive tragedies happening, ongoing right now within the United States of America that get no visibility, and they get no visibility because people can't stop talking about Jeffrey Epstein. So, I consider podcasters and politicians alike all responsible for the drug epidemic in the United States of America by intentionally not allowing it to get any visibility because they love to talk about Epstein. So, am I feeding into that? No. I'm highlighting, once again, how that is done. So now the salacious story is something Melania Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. And I'm here to tell you, you know what? There is a Melania Trump, Jeffrey Epstein connection. There is. But it's not what you think. This is one of the most unexplainable photos of all time. This is from Talk Magazine, the magazine that was started, main editor Tina Brown. And by the way, the show Murphy Brown is loosely based off of Tina Brown, the very influential, wealthy journalist from England that seems to have a lot of say in the United States of America. Also very close with both Henry Kissinger and Harvey Weinstein, and Hillary Clinton for that matter. And I also think she has a relationship, or had a relationship, I'm not saying romantic or anything, most likely with Mark Weiner of Rhode Island, whose daughter Zoe Weiner lived with Candace Owens. They started a company together, Degree 180, but whatever, okay, let's just take it slow here. Talk Magazine, February 2000 issue, has this photo of a 20-something Melania Trump in it. Now, okay, there's magazines with women in swimsuits. There's magazines with all kinds of like serious profanity in them, okay. There's already swimsuit magazines, Victoria's Secret magazines, and now she isn't actually in the White House, all right, but she's on a carpet somewhere that's made to look like it is the carpet of the White House. And the title of the article is A Model First Lady. This is February of 2000. She's not even Melania Trump yet. She's just Melania Knauss. Knauss? There's no explanation for this. Okay. And I'll read it for you, okay? I'll read the article. This is February 2000. Melania Knauss gets ready for the White House. Why is she being prepared to be the First Lady of the United States? Now, some context before I read this, okay? This magazine, Talk Magazine, is something that nobody wants you to see. I have spent a lot of money finding every episode, scanning them all in. You can go to HoustonTonicITS.com or HoustonTonic.live. You could download the individual ones. I scanned them all in. I ran optical character recognition. I even made a full zip file so you can download all of them yourself because they're not available anywhere. This magazine is owned by Harvey Weinstein at this time. You know, the person whose last interview was with Candace Owens. Candace Owens, who is beloved by Tucker Carlson and Steve Bannon. By the way, at the time of this publication, Tucker Carlson is working for Harvey Weinstein. Tucker Carlson is having money put into his pocket by Harvey Weinstein at this time. So Tucker Carlson knows about this article. She's not even married to Trump. There has never before been an article of a young woman 16 years before she became the first lady saying this is going to be the next first lady. If that's happened before, maybe, but not like this. Not on this stage, everybody. I don't know what this article means. And Melania Trump is very young here. You know, if it was a man the same age, I would be thinking the same thing. There's no way Melania pulled all the strings for something to happen. I want to read the article here. Now, if there were real researchers and analysts and archivists out there, they would be all over this article. They would be all over this. And they would highlight that after 9/11, Talk magazine went defunct. Most of the editorial staff, minus Tina Brown, started a new effort called Radar Magazine. They had 2 issues. They failed. And then they were rebooted again. And you know who owned them and funded them? Jeffrey Epstein. Meaning this magazine and this staff that's putting this photo out there of Melania Trump on the White House carpet, Talk magazine, effectively the machine of Talk becomes Radar. You can still follow Radar online, by the way. I think it's mostly AI on YouTube. And I just call it Jeffrey Epstein's magazine. Look, there's only like 5 people that ever owned Radar and Talk combined. Harvey Weinstein, Yusef Jackson, who also knows Candace Owens, by the way, Jeffrey Epstein, Ron Burkle, and there was one other, Zuckerman. I forget the other one. And that's it. So, yeah, somehow or another, they're connected. Now, I don't think she was a model. I think almost all of the stuff that is said about Jeffrey Epstein is just mythology. It's mythology. He plays a role. He plays a role in a play to create all of this doubt and ambiguity and worst case scenarios and suspicion and everything else. He's basically like the Uno card of people. He could be anything you want him to be. So the more you look at Epstein, the more you don't get anywhere. But here's a magazine. And Talk, to be fair, Talk became Radar before it was purchased by Epstein. Most people will talk for 100 hours a week about Epstein, never mention the fact that he owned a magazine. He owned a magazine. Every word of that magazine should be analyzed. But no, because most of the people are wasting your time on things that don't matter. You know why we had an opioid epidemic? Because of podcasters who lie about why people die and waste your time. Anyways, model first lady. Melania Knauss gets ready for White House. Photos by Patrick de Marquelier. I don't know how to say that name. Let me... I should be able to open that up there. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Melania Knauss says, quote, "You play a role. You play a role." Wow. I didn't even read it yet. I knew it would be good. So she's role playing. She says very quietly, "It's business." She has an Eastern European honey whisper. Funny, they use the word honey. This 26-year-old Slovenian who is the girlfriend of possible Reform Party presidential candidate Donald Trump. While Knauss speaks, she does so in the manner of a cat on the verge of sleep. But she can shed this pose in a heartbeat. In politics, you need to know how to deal with people, she said. I didn't scan in a line. I'm sorry about that. Right people to work for you. You need to make the right decisions and stand by them. And she finishes, you need to know how to run a business. Like her boyfriend, of course, Trump, Melania, Knauss here. Trump is 27 years older than Melania at this time. He's a billionaire. They are very different people, yes? Melania says no. She says, quote, I don't feel the age difference because we are still so young in the mind, and it is still, again, I'm sorry for missing that sentence there. Knauss is ready for the job. It would seem a model first lady. She said that she would be very traditional. This is something of a stump speech for her. This is a stump speech for her. Why? Because her husband's... Nobody could possibly expect Trump to win as a Reform Party candidate. She'd emulate Jackie Kennedy, Betty Ford. She said, quote, I will do social obligations, social events. I will do charities. I love children. I think Make-A-Wish Foundation is great, unquote. Knauss trails off, sips a Diet Coke carefully. There's Barbara Bush to consider, Nancy Reagan, Hillary too. Jackie is traditional, said said Melania Knauss. Hillary, she is not. She is the opposite. Melania Knauss is thinking now, quote, I don't think it's wrong. I think Hillary is a great woman. But like I said, Hillary is a great woman. But like I said, I would be traditional. It's not my campaign. It's not me who's running for president. Oh, yeah? Well, she's right about that. I mean, for whatever it's worth. So, no, indeed. Donald loves people, Melania explains. He would like to make life for everybody very good. Great life for everybody. So, Melania Knauss is smiling now. Perhaps imagining a life to come. So here's Donald on the phone, right? A famous photo of Donald on the phone. Again, this is the year 2000. Where we go out, when we go out for events, she said, everywhere the people are cheering him. They start to scream. They are supporting him. Mr. Trump, don't stop. Mr. Trump, president. So the first lady takes off her robe and then soon after lies down on a rug by Amy Brill. I don't know who Amy Brill is. I just don't have the words. The magazine was owned by Harvey Weinstein. It was ultimately renamed, became Radar, and was owned by Jeffrey Epstein. I don't think Jeffrey Epstein is the intelligence asset that people say he is. He plays a role. He's an actor. He got to know Hollywood people one way or another. He's playing a role of a playboy, ultra-rich guy who, and then people will say, oh, he owns an island, he does this, he does that. Whatever. Trust me, you get old, you just want to sit on your couch. I don't know what it means. But what it means is this is what people should have been known about and have talked about for a long time right now. I've had this out there for a year. Nobody cares. They don't care. Many people don't care because they don't know about it. And most of the podcasters who are the enemy of the United States of America, they are enemy combatants, won't share this because they get paid to hide me. They get paid to hide me. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm about as American as apple pie. You're not going to get anything more American, everyday, whatever, one of a kind, God's own prototype than me. It's too bad. It's too bad that we have podcasters as enemies of the United States of America. But it is what it is. You have to accept it. And you know what? They're not Americans. The government isn't America. The people are the Americans. And guess what? We're all still here. While this chaos shit show is happening online and on TV and everywhere else, same people are at Home Depot every day. Just like just waiting for the storm to pass. We're still here. We haven't changed. Aside from the ones, of course, that were killed by protocols and a drug epidemic that the podcasters and the government won't talk about. Almost 4 years. Unbelievable. Nothing. Thank you, guys. Thanks. Take care. God bless. Happy Friday. Stay positive. Keep fighting.